What makes one person achieve prosperity while others remain stuck? The answer may lie in the habits we cultivate. The Bible gives us several pieces of advice on this, and today I will share 5 habits that, according to the scriptures, can transform your financial life. But before we get into the details, it's important to remember one thing. The Bible does not promise wealth to anyone. Not even the most faithful Christians can expect God to give them money just by following the scriptures. What it does teach are principles that increase our chances of success. So it's not about negotiating with God, but about following good advice that can improve your life in many ways. Let's get to know these habits. Habit 1. Live below your means. Imagine you're standing in front of a buffet full of delicious food. You're hungry, but you know that if you take more than you can eat, you'll end up wasting it. Living below your means is similar. Many people, when they receive their paycheck, want to spend it all on things they want in that moment. A new phone, an expensive dinner, trendy clothes. But if you spend everything, when an emergency comes, you'll be left with nothing. The Bible tells us a very interesting story about this. Joseph in Egypt learned that there would be 7 years of abundance, followed by 7 years of scarcity. What did he do? He saved part of what they had during the years of abundance so that when the crisis came, they would be prepared. And it worked. Egypt survived and thrived in the midst of one of the greatest crises in history. Proverbs 21:20 says, "There is desirable treasure and oil in the dwelling of the wise, but a foolish man squanders it." In other words, those who spend everything they have without thinking about the future act foolishly. If you really want to prosper, you have to get used to living on less than you earn. This means saving part of your income for emergencies, opportunities, and your dreams. Habit 2. Have more than one source of income. Think of a farm. If a farmer plants only one type of seed and it's destroyed by a plague or storm, he loses everything. But if he plants several types of crops, even if one suffers, he still has the others to ensure his survival. The same goes for your financial life. Relying on just one source of income, whether it's your job or your business, is risky. Ecclesiastes 11:6 says, "Sow your seed in the morning, and at evening let your hands not be idle, for you do not know which will succeed, whether this or that, or whether both will do equally well." What does this mean? Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Diversify your income sources. I remember a friend of mine, João. We were eating at a restaurant, and he started commenting on how the place could improve. "They should sell desserts," he said. "Sweets are a great way to increase profits." Whenever we're together, he's always thinking of new ways to make money. That's how people with multiple income streams think. They see opportunities everywhere. So how about you start thinking of other ways to generate income besides your main job? Habit 3. Have an emergency fund. Imagine this. You're sailing on a boat, and suddenly a storm breaks out. If you have a life jacket, you'll feel calmer knowing you're prepared. The emergency fund is your financial life jacket. It's the money you save and should only use in case of an emergency. Whether it's a rare opportunity or a difficult situation like unemployment or health problems. You know what's interesting? People talk very little about the power of an emergency fund. Many don't even realize how much it can help them build wealth. In the Bible, when Joseph created an emergency fund for Egypt, he ensured the survival of the people during the famine, and the kingdom prospered. Are you prepared for life's unexpected events? They will always happen, and the best way to protect yourself is with financial reserves. When I got married shortly after, I lost my job. It was a moment that could have been disastrous, but thanks to God, I had already learned the importance of an emergency fund. I had saved enough money to support us for over a year. This gave me the freedom to pursue my dream of working in something I love without worrying about a fixed job. Having an emergency fund not only protects you, but it also gives you opportunities. Habit 4. Invest. Think about it. You work hard, earn your money, but what do you do with it? Do you leave it sitting idle in the bank, or do you make it grow? Investing is like planting a tree that, over time, bears fruit. The Bible talks about this in the parable of the talents. The master gave each servant a sum of money, and while some invested and multiplied what they received, one servant simply buried the money and did nothing with it. What happened? The master was disappointed because he expected the resources to multiply. Investing is one of the safest ways to make your money work for you, whether it's in property, stocks, businesses, or other types of investments. It's the key to building wealth. And look, I know that investing can seem daunting at first. I was afraid when I started, not knowing where to invest. But over time I learned and the results started to show. Habit 5. Seek wisdom. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, is the habit of seeking wisdom. What is wisdom? The Bible teaches that wisdom is not just knowing things, but putting that knowledge into practice. Proverbs says, "Blessed is the one who finds wisdom and the one who gains understanding." Wisdom is what separates those who know they need to save from those who actually do it. It's no good knowing that living below your means, having multiple sources of income, investing, and creating an emergency fund are important if you don't act on it. Financial wisdom lies in applying what you've learned. Now, with these 5 habits in mind, think about the future you want to build. Each of these steps can radically transform your life, as they did mine. When I started living below my means, when I created more sources of income, made an emergency fund, and started investing, everything changed for the better. It wasn't easy, but every step was worth it. And here's one last piece of advice. Be patient with yourself. These habits aren't acquired overnight, but with determination and daily practice, you can achieve them. Now tell me, which of these habits do you already practice, and which are you willing to start today? Let us know in the comments, and if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. May God accompany you on this journey toward prosperity.